Today I want to talk about um, one conversation topic that me and two office friends were discussing a few days ago or last week. It's related to the kind of work that I'm doing, or at least the job level I was at a long time ago when I started working for the BPO industry some 15-16 years ago. And I will try to be as polite and as candid as possible at the same time. And these are all my observations over the past few years on some key similarities and differences of the general, agent level profile from about 15 years ago to today, the last recent year. So we'll talk about escalated calls, okay? I remember when we were agents, it was so difficult to get, somebody who would take your escalated calls. It's like having to go through so many steps and a lot of convincing your SME or to your supervisor that your call is really an escalated call and deserving of their time and attention. And at certain points you would even almost have to beg that for someone to take your call. There was also this notion amongst the agents that it was like a negative connotation that, hey, that person's not able to manage his or her call, and it's kind of embarrassing. I don't think that's the case nowadays anymore. Certain procedures and policies of the accounts that are being handled in BPOs have certainly evolved over the years, and they have become more customer-centric, customer satisfaction driven, NPS driven. So I think some of those factors are also the reason why specific or more detailed set of procedures are, I'd say, more friendly to the customer as far as getting them to somebody else who they can talk to, who could resolve their issues if they feel that are not being resolved by the agent level. Second thing, let's talk about career path. During my time, it was like a common notion from people who are not that familiar with the call center industry that these are just agents taking in calls, answering the phones, and the public wasn't that encouraging of the kind of employment that we were getting ourselves into. It took the industry a while to make the non-BPO folks realize that careers can be built in this industry. The competition was really tough. It was cutthroat. Being promoted for a supervisor or even an SME position was really tough, and competition was so difficult, and interviews were tough, people were tough, the bosses were really selective in terms of the people that they're going to promote. There was a lot of self-help that applicants would have to do to make sure that they get recognized and their skills are honed for the position they were applying for. Now, somehow some people would have that thinking that being a good, excellent superstar agent is somehow equivalent to a good supervisor. It's not necessarily true. The skill sets required are different. competencies are different. I always say this to the people I work with, especially when we're trying to determine people to promote and people to lead a certain team. You know, it's just some agents think that if they're very good in what they do, it's enough. I mean, it's so hard for us people in management to get even young supervisors, to get them to enroll in specific training courses that are being offered already by their management, by their training teams. Before, I remember we were always clamoring to get additional training, additional support, additional skills enhancements, just to make sure that we are up to speed with whatever demands the role of the supervisors would have. I just feel like, okay, I'm promoted, it's enough, I'm really good. Ugh, not so true at all. Number 3, I kind of mentioned self-help. I remember a few friends of mine from work sharing some websites that were essentially useful for our day-to-day calls, and these websites were not necessarily from training. We would have our own list of additional websites to look into if we get issue XYZ, and because before we didn't have a robust knowledge base or knowledge portal for the program. You'd have to do a little more research if you wanna resolve your customer issue right at once, or if you don't wanna open up a ticket and let that be open for quite a while and stay on pending status or open. Now, you'd hear agents saying that wasn't taught in training, or they did not teach me this, I'm not aware, I wasn't aware, I didn't see the update, I didn't see the memo, that's why I didn't do it. And that's just, wow. Does everything have to be spoon-fed, really? What about helping yourselves? Come on. Yeah, anyway, what else? It's still common for new agents that even outside the training room or outside the production floor, you'll hear them speaking in English even outside of shift, and they're usually clustered, or they go out on breaks as a group, and most often than not, these are your trainees, the new ones, and they're pretty much trying to be compliant with the EOP, or the English only policy. And of course, trainers would always say better practice, and even outside your training classes and even outside your shift, that's one way to get better at it, blah blah blah. I think it's still pretty common even now, although I think one difference is agents from before, I think we were more conscious of our diction, our pronunciation, our grammar even. You kind of cringe if you hear something that sounds off, or something that's grammatically wrong. Now I still cringe whenever I hear people or agents who have issues on their English and comm skills. But hey, what can I do? But the thing is, I think it's not just about what they don't know or how probably limited their English and comm skills are, but what are they trying to do to get better at it or to improve? I think that's the major difference. Do you see agents doing, their own research or doing self-study, trying to exert extra effort at home or even outside work to get to know the nuances of talking to North American customers, for example. So the next thing that I think is, this time very, very similar, is the way we value our sleep. Since most of us work the night shifts, getting a good sleep is really precious. So every chance we get, we grab the opportunity to take a good rest at home or even at the office. I don't know of anyone who wouldn't want to just sleep on their rest day. I mean, especially if they have nothing else to do. Some people would even ditch their friends, and going out for a movie or going clubbing because, they just want to sleep instead and just make up excuses for not going. And related to that, talk about attendance. Agents from before, mind you, call in reasons for not coming to work. We've done all of that. If you're trying to outsmart your senior leaders now, you're screwed. Supervisors now issue memo and warnings to their agents because of attendance and tardiness, left and right. Top of mind, do you know of a team or a supervisor managing a team who has not issued or who has not written up a single agent for attendance, even for this year? I doubted if you'd find any. Anyway, before, I think people were more afraid of the consequences, like losing our jobs, because it was kind of difficult to get into the call center industry before, when the selection process was still pretty tough. If you get a memo for attendance or tardiness, it was embarrassing. Now it's like just like a norm. You'd even hear people just shrugging off the topic and saying things like, "Oh, it's just a warning," or "It's just written warning. Doesn't matter. What do I care?" Or I think it's also because they feel that jobs are everywhere and they can transfer anytime they want to any company. Well, that may be true, but it's just, I don't think that's the right attitude to have. Of course, there would always be valid reasons for you to be absent, but I personally feel things can be planned. There would probably be some days when you're really absolutely sick that you cannot go to work, but not as frequent as those habitual people, the way they're doing it. I mean, you'd know it if your agents are lying to your face. The other thing, compensation of the BPO employees are relatively better. The compensation structure and model of the BPO industry is relatively competitive. So the purchasing power of the BPO folks, even at the agent level, is pretty strong. Even during our time, you'll see people getting new gadgets every time they're out, going on out of town trips, or partying. I think that aspect on the purchasing power is pretty much the same. You'd still see agents who go to Starbucks almost every day. They go there more than the people I know of do. Like, really, do you know how much money you're spending on that pricey coffee every day? Some of them even twice a day. So that's times 5 in a week. It's easy. I think that's probably 25,000-30,000 pesos in a year just for signature coffee. And sometimes I find it kind of weird that they have all these nice things and yet they borrow money from people. I think that's just not right, living beyond your means. But hey, they want to be cool. Who am I to judge? In the last 15 or so years, certainly a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have stayed the same. This industry has grown so much. But I think for the most part, a lot of fundamental things about the characteristics of the good agent, so to speak, are still there. Then again, there are aspects that have actually gone worse or just not good. I still have high hopes that with the leaders of today's companies in the BPO industry, they're still able to somehow influence and mold the right behaviors towards our agents. This industry is just gonna get bigger in the next few years, and if we don't groom the young agents of today into becoming better leaders in the near future, then sooner or later we might regret that our industry is not anymore contributing to the economy of this country. And it's just grown so much, and the work of our predecessors would just go to waste if we start losing business from our clients and our customers, right? So having said that, I hope the agents on my team who are somehow able to hear or see this video not go absent on their supervisors tomorrow or tonight. Toodles, bye.